Morning. Sure that my mood is inversely proportionately linked to the weather. When there's good weather, I'm in a good mood. And when it's sort of a bit miserable and blah, I'm not in a good mood. And you probably judge from those two possible scenarios what sort of mood I'm in this morning. It's not good. Just driven about an hour to my location in the Lake District this morning, and I was very hopeful of some mist in the valleys, and the forecast doesn't look particularly good. It looks very breezy. There's no mist. I planned quite a hike up to an elevated viewpoint this morning, which I'm probably still going to do, because I've got an itch in my head about a shot that I was looking at, and I need to see if it's going to be on or not. And it may not be today, but today might just end up being a recce. But yeah, just feel a bit flat today. So whether the weather is going to improve and cheer me up, God only knows. So let's get the flask, get the bag, and get hiking. You can sense my enthusiasm. A lot of cloud about. I had originally planned to go quite high up behind me. You can see the cloud base is really, really low. So I would have had no view basically. So rather than going up, I'm going to go down a bit and have a look over Little Langdale Tarn. I think down this ridge there could be quite a nice view into the valley. So I'm just going to go down a bit, remembering that the best view is not always at the top of the mountain. Certainly not for photographs anyway. I don't think I'm going to get much. There's a bit of a crack, but yeah, it's not in a good spot. So I'm not expecting a great deal. And this is probably going to end up more as a recce than a final visit. But we'll get down and have a look. Got plenty of time. See what it's like down there. The difficulty with this scene is really this really bright crack that you can see behind me here. It's really pronounced, and yeah, so it's bracketing all the way with this one, and it might need several bracketed shots to actually cover the full dynamic range of this scene. So I'm doing a few, trying to expose for the foreground for these rocks here, and obviously a few trying to expose for this really bright sky in the background there. if I try and tap on that to try and tone it down a bit, you can see even this is struggling to deal with the dynamic range of that. So yeah, a bit of a challenge with this one. How it'll pan out, I don't know. The clouds are quite nice here, just sweeping over Weatherlim. So I've got a bit of a time lapse running there just to see what that looks like. Trying to get a bit more time lapse stuff into videos just to make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, it's quite nice but quite tricky. Well, you'll see I've cheered up a little as the weather's cheered up a bit. That was pretty nice. I think there's some quite nice stuff there. It's interesting, I had a chat with my mate Ed this week, and we're talking about, and I've done this, so I'm not saying that I haven't, because I have. But, you know, when you post pictures sometimes, people saying, oh, I took it with the phone, or it was a shot with a small camera or big camera and all this sort of stuff, try to justify almost that one's better than the other. Be interesting to see what you think. All the images today were shot with this Sony RX100 Mark 6, I think. Be interesting to see, for those of you who follow my vlog regularly, whether you can tell any difference. Been challenging conditions this morning, real bright crack and real dark mood, so real hard dynamic range, which my I nearly said it there, the Big Sony. My Sony A7 obviously got a cracking dynamic range and handles sort of that sort of bright and dark images really quite easily, and you do still have to bracket, but not too much. With these ones today, because the bracketing on this Little Sony was set at, I said it there, didn't I? Little Sony. Little Sony, Big Sony. On this compact, the bracketing set at 1/3 of a stop. That was nowhere near enough to deal with the dynamic range of this. So I was shooting 4 or 5 bracketed shots, if that makes sense. So I'll be sticking them together, processing them as I would normally. See if you can tell any difference. 24 megapixel camera. I've shot with it before, and you know, I think it's one of the best out there for the compact cameras. And I tell you, I've looked at some of the shots I've taken with it before on Lightroom, and I've not been able to tell a jot of difference between them and the A7. But this harsh dynamic range might push it to its limits. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Right, that's it for this mini adventure. I will catch you again in the next sort of week or so. Thanks for watching.